Hi, my name is Ben. You're watching Image Talk. This video is meant for English beginners, and today I will be talking about 5 images. If you need, there are subtitles available, and the entire transcript is on benslanguagelab.com. For now, just listen, watch, and enjoy. In our first image, we have a monkey. He looks like a gorilla, to be specific. A monkey wearing a pink suit. He's wearing clothes. He has a pink suit on. Pink is this color, right? He has a pink suit on. Is the suit red? No, the suit is pink. He's wearing a pink suit. And he's sitting on a yellow chair. He's sitting right here on this yellow chair. I'm sitting in a black chair, but he's sitting in a yellow chair. Yellow is this color. Oop. Yellow is this color. Here we go. Yellow chair. He's also wearing a little bit of yellow here. Inside of his suit, his vest is yellow with what look to be blue dots, blue spots or blue dots. We also see that he has big monkey hands, with large fingers. They look thick. My finger is pretty small, right? Pretty small. His finger is, boom, thick. He's got a very thick finger. In fact, he has many. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it looks like 7 fingers total. Behind the monkey, we see a bit of a cloth, it looks like. Some sort of cloth behind him, which is acting as a background. This is my background. This is his background. And the monkey is looking directly at us, right? His eyes are looking right there, right? We can see his eyes here looking right at us. And he has an expression on his face. His face has an expression that he's, serious. It looks like he's a serious monkey. We also see that he has some extra buttons on his lapel or on his shirt here. And that's about everything. Oh, he also has a pocket square or something in his shirt pocket. But that's everything on this monkey. Let's go to the next image. This image is black and white. There's no color. There's no red. There's no pink. It is just black and white. And this image is of a van in a river or at a river, right? So we see here is the water, right? This is all water. And this is the van on the river, right on the bank here. So it's not inside the river, right? It's not in the water. It's on the river bank, next to the river. So we'd say it's at the river, actually. A van or by the river, at the river, on the shore. On the shore, right here is the shore. In the background, we can see what look like to be mountains. Big mountains here, or hills, and trees, right? There's a bunch of trees behind the van, right? These are all these trees. And even here, back here, these are all trees as well. The van is somewhere where there's lots of trees everywhere. We also can see that there's rocks here on the shore, on the riverbank. There's some rocks, and it looks like there is a bit of rapids or faster moving water. Here the water is going faster. Instead of just, it's going, right? Lots more water. And we actually can see that the van is a Volkswagen, a VW bus, right? So this is the logo for VW or Volkswagen. So it's a VW bus or a Volkswagen bus. It can also be called a van, also works. And we see here in the water, there's the reflection of the van. So this is not the van. This is the van. Here's the van. But we can see the reflection of the van in the water. That's pretty cool. What is this? Is this a rock? Yeah, this is a rock here. This is the rock, and then this is the reflection of the rock in the water. But it looks sort of like one round rock, even though it's actually like this, right? That's how the rock is actually sitting on the shore. Is there anything else we can see in this interesting image? It looks like there's some design here on the side, but I can't tell what it is. I don't know. Do you know what this is? I can't really tell. We can also talk about the car. Here we see some headlights, right? These are the lights that light up in front of the car, right? So the light goes this way so that they can see where they're going at night. If it's dark, you can still see. We also can see the mirrors here. There's some side mirrors so that you can see behind you, right? The mirrors are here so you can look at the mirror, right? You can see the mirror, but then look behind you in the mirror. There's the reflection, right? You can see the reflection of whatever is back here, right? In the mirror. Okay, that's this image. Let's go on to the third image. Okay. So now we are in a city, it looks like, right? We can see that there's buildings back here. There's cars driving, and there's people. This is a person. We can see some signs, right? This is a sign for a business or something like that. And we can't see very well, right? It's sort of blurry, right? That means that it's hard to see. I can't really see very well back here because it's blurry, right? This whole section is blurred. It's harder to see when there's blur. The part that's in focus, the part that's easy to see, is right here. We see a robot, it looks like. Or maybe it's a person, but it looks like a robot, right? Instead of eyes, he just has lights, right? There's a light here, which is for his eye. And instead of arms, he has mechanical arms or robot arms, right? Beep, bap, ba-da, beep, bop. He's a robot, right? And it looks like the robot is selling vegetables and potentially fruit back here. There's fruits here, vegetables, right? So fruits and vegetables. And the robot is selling them. So he gives somebody some fruit and they give him money, right? So he's selling the vegetables. And this person maybe is buying the vegetables. They're using the money to buy vegetables. Or maybe fruit as well. We can also see that this car looks like it's on the sidewalk, maybe. The sidewalk is where people walk, right? So people walk on the sidewalk and cars drive in the street. Right, they drive in the street. So here is the street and it looks like this is the sidewalk. This part here is the sidewalk. Oops. But this car is parked It's sitting there. It's parked on the sidewalk, which is no, 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 no. You should not park your car on the sidewalk. That's where people walk, not where cars can drive or park. What else can we see? Oh, well, we can see what kinds of vegetables there are. This is broccoli, right? Here's broccoli. And this looks to be zucchini of some kind. Zucchini or potentially something else, maybe. These look like apples, I think. I think this is an apple. These are oranges. They must be oranges. They're also the color orange, right? And then I think these are some sort of tomato or kumquat. I don't really know what kind of fruit that is. Let's see. Can I see anything else interesting in this image? We have some more car vocabulary. So here are the headlights, right? It's not very easy to see, but that's the car headlight, just like this one here, right? We also see the mirror right here, right? There should be another one right there, but we can't see it very well, right? Those are these. And we can also see the license plate, right? So here is the license plate, and that's what has numbers or letters, right? So maybe you have 4, 5, 6, A, B, C, right? That's your license plate number, and that's what tells the government or the police who owns this car, because they can look it up in the computer and see, 456 ABC, that belongs to so-and-so, this person. I think that's everything that we can see in this image. A very interesting image. It looks like it might be from a distant future where there's robots working to sell vegetables and fruits instead of people. I wonder if that'll happen. The next image here looks like a painting. So it's not taken with a camera. Nope, it's not with a camera, but instead it's painted, right, with a paintbrush, right? So a painter took a paintbrush and they painted this. This is my paintbrush. However, all of these images were generated with AI, right? Artificial intelligence, to make this easier and faster. However, this still looks like a very interesting painting. It looks like it's at a train station, right? So we have the tracks here, right? There's some tracks for the train. And so this is the platform, right? This is where you wait and you get on the train. And then this is the train station, right? This building is the train station. And so you can sit on this bench, right? So somebody could sit here and they could read a book maybe, or they could be on their phone and they can wait for the train to come. And so maybe the train then is here, and then they get on to the train in this painting. We also see several different kinds of lights in this picture, right? We have a more typical street lamp, which is lit from above, right? So the light is coming down. Here we have some more traditional lamps on the wall, right? And so the light is coming out in all directions. And then over here, we see some lights that are for the train. They might even be signals to say, stop, or go, 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 or slow down, not so fast, right? So there's many different kinds of lights. Those lights are typically red or maybe green, right? You might have some stop lights like that telling the train to stop or go, come on, right? The painting also is happening at night, right? It's dark outside. right? It's not daytime, right? We don't see a sun in the sky, right? There's no sun here. Dun, 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 dun. It's not daytime, it's nighttime. Right now it's night, and it might even be raining a little bit. Or something like that. We see what looks like to be a puddle of water here, right? There's a little puddle of water, and it might be raining a little bit, right? With a little bit of rain in the air. But we can't really be sure because it's not a video, it's a picture. We also see this section here on the platform, which is a bit of a guard section, right? And it's a warning saying, don't step here, right? If the train is coming, choo-choo, don't be here. You want to be here instead. Wait away from the train. You want to leave space because the train is really big. And if you get hit by the train, that's not good. And so you want to step away from the train. Leave space between you, right? Here's you and the train. That's my beautiful picture of a train. There we go. So you want to leave this space in between. Anyway, let's move on to the final picture for today, which looks like a picture of a house. Here we have a picture of a modern-looking house. It looks new, right? New. Oops, W. Because it doesn't have a typical roof like this, and so it looks a bit more modern. Maybe. We see some plants outside. There's a palm tree looking thing. Here's a tree, and there's a cactus even. And there's some other plants around to make the house more green and inviting, right? So when the house is a bit greener, right, everything just looks more happy, right? These plants look like they belong in the desert. The desert is the place with sand and where the sun is always out and there's no water, or there's very little water, right? So there's water, but in the desert, there's not very much water, right? There's just sand. So if I was to draw some sand in here, there'd be sand along here instead of regular dirt, right? So dirt looks more brown, right? This is the dirt color. This is sand. And this is dirt. But it looks like we're in the desert, not in somewhere like the forest or somewhere where there's more water. Because cactuses, that's this, a cactus, cacti maybe is the plural, live in the desert where there's not very much water. So same with these kinds of trees. They are from the desert. The sky is also very blue, and there's no clouds. Clouds are these things, by the way. If I go to white, right, these are the clouds. That's a cloud. Well, if I can color it in correctly, right, that's a cloud, but there's no clouds, right? We just see blue. Blue sky, beautiful. And the house itself has lots of windows. Right? Here's a big window, here's a big window, and there's lots of light coming into the house. Right? So here's the sun, and the light is coming into the house. Right? So it's very bright. It's so bright. It's hard to look and see, right? Because there's so much light. It's so bright. And it looks like to go inside the house, you walk up these stairs and you go on to the porch. Here's the porch, and then you go inside the house here. This looks like there's something in the way, right? So we can't see inside. There's some kind of curtain, right? This is a curtain, right? My blue curtain that I can pull down or push up, not from here, from over there. So we can't see inside. We can't look inside the house. But that's okay, because that's the end of this episode of Image Talk. I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a couple of new words. Remember, all of the transcripts are on benslanguagelab.com if you need, but I will see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.